Hello, everybody. I hope all of y'all are having a good day today. I'm in Osama City right now. Lynn is with the little girl Leslie and her mom Norma. They're inside the hospital right now getting an ultrasound. I always have to stay out in the car because if I go in, they'll charge us triple or quadruple. It's called a skin tax. So anyway, I have to stay out, otherwise we'll be in trouble with money. But while I'm sitting here, I just wanted to give you guys a quick teaching. I touched a little bit on the nostril, the nose, the other day, because the nose knows, knowledge, the nose. So if you'll notice in a lot of old statues and things like that, they've had their nose knocked off because that's a symbolic of taking away the knowledge of that person. All right, that was kind of like the ultimate insult. You know, it's like we're removing the knowledge of you, knock the nose off. So anyway, you know, the Jews had some crazy laws. They had 613 laws that they had to go by, and that wasn't counting the feast days and the festivals. Probably all in all, it was 666, most likely. But anyway, they had some silly things, you know, like, you know, if two men were fighting and the other one was about to kill the other guy, and the guy who was getting beat up severely, if his wife jumped in and interfered and grabbed underneath the other guy's tunic and grabbed him by his private area to give her husband a break, then she would have to have her hand cut off, or they would have to kill her or something like that. So I'm sure that probably happened to somebody. Some high priest's cousin or nephew was probably in a fight with somebody and he was winning, and somebody's wife come up behind him and grabbed him by his junk, and it caused a fight to end, and he was like, well, I'm gonna have a law passed so they can't do that, you know. But anyway, one of the laws that they had was you could, if in order to be a priest, you could not have a flat nose, a broad nose. All right, everything that the Judaism was about outward appearances. You know, you couldn't have any blemishes outwardly. You know, remember they had a on the outside they had a form of godliness, you know, but they denied the power. Okay, inwardly they were horrible. All right, but if you had a broad nose, a flat nose, they said you couldn't be a priest. All right, and if you'll remember, Jacob, the way he got all of his wealth and everything was by taking, remember Jacob is Israel, he was taking all of the sheep and everything that were blemished. All right, all of them that had marks on them and everything, the black sheep. Okay, he was taking all the black sheep. And if you remember, it's written that God chooses the weak, the despised, the broken things of the world to shame those who on the outside have that form of godliness, but on the inside, you know, they're broken. All right, so God uses those blemished, those black sheep of the world to shame the strong. Now what's cool is you look at that, you know, it said nobody with a flat nose. Simon Peter, okay, he was the first one to be called, the first disciple. And his name, Simon, in Latin means flat-nosed. All right? And Peter, now the Catholic Church always says Peter means rock. And Jesus said, on this rock I'll build my church. But you have to look at that correctly. It said, on this rock I will build my ecclesia. And ecclesia means those who have been called out, those who've heard the voice of God. All right? And Simon in Greek or Hebrew means those who hear, hearing. All right? Spiritually hearing the voice of God, the inner voice of God. Peter, it does mean rock, but it also means firstling. All right? So Simon Peter was the first flat-nosed, the first black sheep to hear the voice of God. He was the first called. The Catholic Church wants you to think, well, he was the first pope, and that's how we established this religious organization, but it's not. That's just a bunch of malarkey, all right? He was the first to hear the voice of God, and that's what Jesus built his ecclesia on. Remember, he built New Jerusalem, all right? We're all stones in New Jerusalem, and none of us are perfectly cut. If you look at those walls in Peru and stuff like that, those megalith, those giant stones and everything, they're all out of shape rocks and everything, but that actually makes them stronger, all right? They hold up to earthquakes and stuff better that way, all right? All the what looks like it's out of place and it's broken and it shouldn't be there is actually making it strong. And we are the building blocks of New Jerusalem. And none of us are the same. We're all unique, all right? But within us, on the outside, we may have appeared broken. We were the black sheep of our families and things like that. But we heard the voice of God, all right? And God uses his black sheep to shame those who on the outside look like they got it all figured out, but on the inside, they're just a mess. Anyway, I hope that helped you guys out. I love you all. God bless.